Hello people! So, we're working on DVD part 2 and we're currently, at the time of this video, we're currently at 150 cards for DVD alone. Obviously we've got 200 cards in the two previous sets beforehand, and this time I'm going to, it seems a little bit high, that camera, a little bit low. We're going to be doing some, I suppose you could call them leaks. So this is going to be some new cards and artwork what you guys have never seen before. They're literally only stored on my PC. There might be one or two what have slipped through the net to certain people, certain individuals, but now these are kind of like the official leaks, should we say. So on screen we're going to have I'm going to go through about 10 cards or something like that, and a couple of new traits and what's to come in the second part of DVD. Yeah, let's just get on with the show. So, terrain cards. I have been asked about terrain cards. Yes, there's a new type of terrain coming. It's kind of good and it's kind of bad. So it's been given the name a bad land. Oh, I suppose you could call it a double land if we don't want to be getting mixed into MTG's line of things. So, yeah, let's call them a double terrain. On screen, we've got Dark Gem Citadel, and you will see that it generates two elements of separate colours. Really a good, really nice thing to have on a terrain card. Downside is, and there's always a downside when it comes to these double terrains, which is why it's only classed as an uncommon. So if you can get around the downsides, it's not so much of a bad thing, you're profiting off this. So, at the end of your turn, for each element still on this terrain, you lose 100 HP. Ooh. So it's good early game, it's very good early game, because at the start of the game you're going to have a handful of cards and you can just throw cards at your opponent like there's no tomorrow. Downside is, late game, there's no way of destroying this unless you use certain other red cards from WAE, and I suppose there might be one in DVD as well, which allows you to destroy terrain cards and or stacks of cards. So if you're running one of these, make sure you've got a very, very active deck that benefits very early game. But at the same time, if your deck is not designed to kill within the first 10-15 turns, then be sure to include some kind of terrain removal in your deck. So aside from Dark Gem Citadel, we do have a selection of other terrain cards as well, which are very similar, you know, in terms of like the double terrains. We have got Smoking Caldera. So this generates a white and a red element, so straight away this is going to be really good in my human deck actually, because that runs red and white. Bad side is, at the end of your turn, for each element still on this terrain, you discard the top card of your deck. So, notice the COVID cut as well. So yeah, like I said, very, very effective in a human deck because they are very easy to play. They come out quite early game. Downside is, you know, if you don't utilise them elements off this terrain, you're going to be discarding the top cards of the deck. Last thing you want to do is discard a powerful royalty rare card. So make sure you've, because it's red, the cards to remove terrains in play are red, so that doesn't, you know, that's kind of in your favour. Another one we've got is Thornfield. Generates two green elements, so it's two of the same colour this time. Static ability, the downside is you cannot play unit or relic cards on this terrain. So that's not actually that bad of a thing, judging that you've got the other terrains out what you need to play your units on. What else have we got? We've got a Snowy Slopes. This generates a white and a blue. At the end of your turn, for each element still on this terrain, your units, you lose 100 attack and HP. Obviously that's for that turn only, so if you don't utilise the white or the blue, all your units are going to lose 200 attack power and 200 health. Like I said, it's not massively different. massively negative, but it's, you know, if you've got 5 elements out in play, that's somewhere between 500 and 1000 damage you're losing out on. So that's going to be it for the terrain. So that's the new type of terrain we've got in play, double terrains. So you can generate 2 elements, very effective, but there's always a downside to them. There are other terrains in this list as well, which I'm not going to go through because I want you guys to have some cards to unveil at some point. So there are more than just what we've seen on screen then. What next? Let's reveal... we've got some artwork from Illumined Souls, which he has very generously done for me, and I've done a speed art of colouring it in. So I've actually turned that into a very powerful card, as you can see on screen. Now Iris is one of the major characters in my game, in Wrath of course, and she has appeared in every single set now that this one has come out. So yeah, something you really want to be looking into here now. So Iris, the Ultimate Fire Mage. She's a royalty rare, so you can only have 1 of her in your deck. She costs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red and 1 of any other colour. She's an 800 attack power, 900 HP unit, and then she's got a static ability what says this unit cannot be damaged by cards of the same colours used to play this card's cost. If you want to play solid red, by all means throw her into a deck. She's pretty much got protection from red. Playing 2 colours, you can pay red and, I don't know, white, chuck it into a red-white human deck, and she's got protection from red and white. Super effective. That includes unit damage and action damage, anything like that, she's just immune to it. So she only misses on a 1, but that 1 does give you a positive side effect, which is draw a card and recover 200 HP to your core. So a really nice little, not so bad of a miss kind of effect. 2 is a hit, 3 to 4 is a hit and deal 300 damage to the enemy core, so that's a bit of burn. 5 is a hit and deal 500 damage to a unit or the enemy core, so that's like an increased version of the previous effect. And number 6 is hit, search your deck for a human card, reveal it, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck afterwards. So you get to tutor any human card in your deck. You know, you can, if you're super lucky, or you've got a way of re-rolling the dice in your battle phase, such as the Wonder from GVE, the Obelisk of War, you can search however many times you roll a 6 and just search for your, I don't know, if you've got another royalty rare human card, if you've got some support cards you need out, if you're running low on humans, you can just tutor any card that you would like for this. So it's a super powerful card, amazing artwork to boot, so, you know, just get one of them in your collection. Next up, I think, if you don't already know, the next theme for the second half of DVD is actually going to be where we've already got dragons and demons. We're also going to be introducing goblins to the second half of the set. So we're going to go through a couple of goblins now, I think. Now this one on screen, if you've not already seen this one, is Heavy Goblin Warrior. He costs 3 green and 2 red. Green and red are going to be their primary colours. So you might find some here and there with different colours, but green and red are going to be their primary colours. It's a 600 unit, so... Why has my camera stopped? There we go. A 600 unit. So it's got a pretty decent attack and HP for only 5 cost. And it's got a static ability that says you can just play weapon cards for free on this unit. You don't need to pay their card cost. And we do have some amazing, really good weapons coming in this set as well, because weapons have always been on the lowdown. We've had some pretty powerful weapons coming through, and I might show the next card out now. Sorry, before we get to the weapon, let's just have a look at some of his abilities, his rolls. So, from a number 5, hits, this unit gains 100 attack this battle, so it's got the option to become a 700 attack power unit. Roll a 6, deal 100 damage to the enemy core for each goblin you have in play. So obviously a lot of the goblins are generally quite a low cost. As you can see, this is a Goblin Brute, which means it costs more, but it's a bigger unit in play. But there's not many of these Brute Goblins in play. The vast majority of Goblins actually cost between 1 and 3 elements to play, and a little bit like Scraps. So this is going to be a really nice card to have into play. And then as for weapons, this is a rare weapon. We don't usually get a lot of rare weapons, especially in like constructed decks. Dark Blade, it costs 4 black or red elements, so you can, yeah, you know what I mean. This can only be equipped to a unit with at least 500 base attack. So straight away we can throw this onto the Goblin Warrior. Don't forget, you can play this unit, this red weapon card for free on Goblin Warrior. As long as he's got 500 attack, which he has because he's got 600 attack. When the equipped unit is declared as an attacker, so literally as soon as you say I'm going to attack with him, the enemy loses 100 HP for each red and black element currently in play. In play is the biggest thing here, because if you're playing against the red and or black deck, this card will also include your opponent's elements. So there can be a turn where you simply do not use any of your elements. You know, say you've maxed out your landscape, that's 7 elements you're going to have in play. Just for declaring him as an attacker, your enemy core is going to take 700 HP. If your opponent coincidentally seems to be playing the same colours as you, that could be much, much more. Just, you know, let's say they've got 3 elements of the same colour out in play. You would declare this unit as an attacker, you can have around 1000 damage just straight off the enemy core instantly. So this is a really big game changer, especially when you can just play it for free. It's ridiculous. Moving on to a couple more unit cards, I think. Maybe one more Goblin card. Let's see what we've got. Let's have a look. Too many to choose. Let's do a common. Goblin Rockkeeper. So it's a 2-cost unit. It's a 300 attack, 300 HP. If you discard a card, obviously this is on your main phase, you get to deal 200 damage to an enemy unit in play. So it's not great, but it's not, you know, at least it's got something to do, especially for a 1.5 cost technically, because it's a green and a red or a green cost. And if you roll 6, you get to deal 200 damage to an enemy unit in battle, so you combine those two together, it's 400 damage. That's pretty much enough to kill off at least 50% of the units in the game. What else have we got? Elemental Consumption. So a lot of the Goblin cards rely on the elements you have in play. So this card is free to play, you don't have to pay anything. And it says, choose a unit with less than 400 attack power and remove any amount of elements you have in play. That unit gains plus 100 attack for each element removed for the rest of this battle. So you got a unit, there's an attack boost. Let's say you remove 5 elements from your terrain cards you have in play. That unit gains 500 attack power. You know, it can't have more than 400. Well, it needs to be 300 or less. So you know that can easily bump up a unit to about 800 HP, something like that. So for a free card, it's a battle card as well, so you can kind of like jump it on your opponent midway through a battle. It's not too bad of a card. Let's see. Coming away from the Goblin side of things now. This is pretty cool. We've got a Soul Container, so it's a bit tricky to cost this one. It's a blue, a white and a black. And it's a response only card, which means you can play it whenever your opponent plays an action or battle card, or even a response card. So it says, any one unit in battle with a total play cost of 4 or less now has its attack and HP set to 100. Pretty good. The effects of other cards no longer affect this unit for the rest of the turn. So if that unit happens to have a weapon card attached, or it's being affected by an adjacent card or a wonder card or something like that, it doesn't apply to this unit in particular. That unit is literally just 100-100 regardless of what your opponent has in play, especially regardless of what you have in play as well. So you know, passive abilities will not kill off a unit, but its HP is set to 100 HP and attack power. What else have we got? Couple of dragons, you know, it is DVD after all. Rock Dragon, 2 cost card, 300 attack, 400 HP, misses on the 1 to a 2. 3 to 5 is a hit, however this unit loses 100 HP. If you roll a 6, it gains 100 attack. So it's got the ability to become a 400-400 unit. It can also become 300-300, depending on what you roll. Common card, nothing great, nothing spectacular, but, you know, it's just something different. Clambering Wyvern. Now this is a common, but it's quite an expensive common. It's 3 blue and 2 whites. 500 attack power, 600 HP, misses on a 1, hits on a 2 to a 3, 4 to a 5 is a hit. This unit gains 100 attack power, 6, deal 100 damage to an enemy unit. Again, it's nothing great, but you know, it's a common card with some abilities. Got a couple of demons, let's have a look, see. Striking Menace, so it costs a 3 red and 2 black. It's a 700 attack, 600 HP. It's got the ambush ability, so an ambush ability with a 700 attacker is quite brutal, given its name Striking Menace. Whenever it enters play, it says if this unit was ambushed into play, deal 200 damage to a unit in battle. So you ambush this in, deal 200 damage, roll its die, judging its hit, and that's another 700 damage. So it's doing about 900 points worth of damage to a unit, judging your target, the same unit twice. Roll a 6, deal 200 damage to a unit in play. That 900 damage could potentially become 1100 damage. So yeah, it's quite a really nice card. What else have we got? Brain Dead Zombie. This is a pretty cool card. It's an uncommon, 2 black, a blue, 500 attack, 300 HP. So Brain Dead Zombie, 2 black and 1 blue. Zombie unit, 500 attack power, 300 HP. Misses on a 1 to a 2, hits on a 2 to a 4, and a 5 to a 6, your opponent discards a card from their hand. So it's not, yeah, again, it's a 1 in 3 chance of missing, but you've also got a 1 in 3 chance of your opponent discarding a card from their hand. So a nice little unit there. One of my favourite pieces of artwork coming up. Brain Gorger. It's not a demon, technically it's a beast. 2 red, 2 green. I suppose it could go into a Krylisian deck or something like that. 500 attack power, 500 HP. When it dies, you get to draw a card and your opponent loses 200 HP. Rolls on a 6, it hits and deals 200 damage to a unit in play. So again, it's nice little bit of damage deal if you maybe just need that little bit of damage to kill off an enemy unit. Weapons. We've got an uncommon weapon here. Barbarians Mace, 2 red and 2 black. Now it doesn't give an attack boost, funnily enough. However, it's got an end ability, so at the end of the turn, if this unit enters battle and survives the turn, your opponent discards the top card of their deck and takes 200 HP to the core. So nice little side effect there if you can attack and win at the same time. Gladius Sword, a rare weapon. It costs 7 whites. Ooh. Don't think I've ever had a full cost sword before. However, it can only be equipped to a human unit. Double the base attack of the equipped unit. Yeah, okay, I'll just leave it at that. Razia, 1 cost relic. Red units on the stack gain 200 attack power. Fiery Revival, 2 red, action card. Choose a dragon unit you have in your consume pile and return it back to your hand. Nice little bring back card. And I think we're going to do one more. What shall we do? Let's do Portal to Hell. This is a wonder card for you demon players. It costs a red, black and a blue. Basically your demons cost 1 element less to play, which makes the game a little bit easier for you. Whenever you play a demon, your opponent loses 200 HP and discards the top card of their deck. Very nice card indeed. No, we did say that was the last one. Let's see what else we've got. Let's do one more. For all you counter dragon players, we've got some dragon scaled armour. 1 red and 2 green. Obviously it's a weapon card. Equipped unit gains 300 HP. If the opponent has a dragon in play, this unit gains 400 HP instead. So yeah, 400 HP for a free cost weapon. Cannot grumble at that. Anyway guys, I think that's more than enough leaks for the time being. We do have plenty more coming. Especially since I've only revealed a handful of the goblins from the goblin deck. But this video is getting quite lengthy, so hopefully you've enjoyed what we have released to date, or today should I say, and just let me know which was your favourite. If you've got any suggestions or any comments or anything like that, I'm always interested in seeing what you guys have got to say regarding the game and the cards and stuff like that. So yep guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you very much if you managed to reach it this far to the end of the video. Here's a little teaser for you guys, just for making it all the way to the end. We have got the fake Razia King. 400 units, enters play, draw a card, roll a 6, recover 200 HP to your core. Thanks a lot guys, I shall see you in my next video.